नमस्ते। सत्व इस कार्यक्रम में रविवार को हम हमारे मन में जो प्रश्न होते हैं उन पर चिंतन करने के लिए साथ जुड़ते हैं। We come together, we try to come together every other Sunday to contemplate on some of the fundamental questions we have about our own life and about this world. Sattva is a program where we have done a lot of experiments on how diet purification can lead to mind purification. Our perception becomes clear, and then in that clear mind, in that pure mind, we get a glimpse of who we are. Because only when we understand who we are, only when we experience who we are, only when we fully realize who we are, can we be completely beyond sorrow. So all of our endeavor is geared towards elimination of sorrow and obtaining happiness. इसीलिए तो हम सारा जीवन चलाते हैं इसी सिद्धांत पर कि मुझे सुख की प्राप्ति हो और दुख की निवृत्ति हो. That's the endeavor of every living entity. It's not just human beings. हम जब कॉलेज में पढ़ते थे, in the microbiology laboratory, we used to have an experiment. उसमें क्या होता था कि एक पानी की बूंद में कुछ जीवाणु, सूक्ष्म जीवाणु होते थे, माइक्रोब्स ऑन दैट स्लाइड. उनको हम ऊपर से देखते थे और देखते थे कि उनका शेप कैसा है, वो कैसे चलते हैं, मोबिलिटी कैसी है, वगैरह वगैरह हम लोग देखते थे. तो उसमें एक एक्सपेरिमेंट ऐसा था कि उस स्लाइड के एक और थोड़ा हम उसको गर्म करते थे. यू वुड हीट द स्लाइड अप ऑन वन साइड and then observe what the microbes were doing, right? You will not believe कि if you heat one side of the slide, then gradually the heat is going to get transmitted to the drop of water. Therefore, the microbes from the warmer side would migrate towards the cooler side. इसका अर्थ क्या हुआ कि छोटे से छोटे जीव को, even the single celled organism is always wanting to be in equilibrium. Every organism has a certain range of equilibrium in which that organism wants to be at all times. इसको कहते हैं equanimity. इसको कहते हैं कि इस लिमिट के नीचे भी नहीं रहना है मुझे और इस लिमिट के ऊपर भी नहीं रहना है मुझे. Every living entity lives within in ecology that is called a niche, N-I-C-H-E, niche कहते हैं उसको. ठीक है, तो उसमें वो आराम से रहते हैं. हम भी वैसे ही हैं, लेकिन हमारा जो जीवन है ना, वो जीवन केवल भौतिक स्तर पर सीमित नहीं है. We don't live merely on the physical level. We also live at mental level, at the thought level, and we also live at the spiritual level, at the awareness level, at the pure awareness level. So these are the three different levels of existence for human beings: the physical level, the mental level, and the spiritual level. और इन तीनों में हम दुख निवृत्ति चाहते हैं और सुख की प्राप्ति चाहते हैं. So we are interested in making sure that we are happy, and we are interested in making sure that we are not unhappy. तो दोनों प्रकार के कर्म हम करते हैं. एक को कहते हैं प्रवृत्ति, कुछ प्राप्त करना, और एक को कहते हैं निवृत्ति, छोड़ देना. Okay? Both these activities are essentially geared towards making sure that we are always happy and making sure that we are never unhappy. तो अगर हमें ऐसा कोई नुस्खा, ऐसी कोई युक्ति पता चल गई, if we can figure out a trick by which we will always be happy, we will be infinitely happy. The happiness will have no bounds at all. And we will never be unhappy. There will be no sorrow. तो ऐसी ट्रिक किसको चाहिए? आई होप एवरीबडी हु इज हियर इज गोइंग टू रेज देयर हैंड्स. मुझे बताओ. तो ये जो युक्ति है, ये जो ट्रिक है, ये भगवान हमको दूसरे अध्याय के आखिरी 18 श्लोक में कहते हैं. तो स्वाति नवथाळे हैज रेज्ड हर हैंड. स्वाति, you have raised your hand because you want to be happy and you don't want to be unhappy, right? Would you like to unmute yourself and say something? Please go ahead. Swati,
Yes, yes.
go ahead, please. If you would like to turn your video on, you can do that too, so that we
Uh,
can also see you. Otherwise, just say whatever you want to say, no problem. Go ahead.
yeah, just I want to say I want to be happy. That's
Of
it.
course, of course.
Yeah.
So this is the place to be. Okay. हम लोगों ने पहले सत्र में ही इस बात पर चिंतन किया था कि ये सुख होता क्या है. ठीक है. हम ये सोचते हैं कि हमारा सुख जो होता है ये देश काल वस्तु व्यक्ति परिस्थिति पर निर्भर होता है. वी थिंक दैट आवर हैप्पीनेस डिपेंड्स अपॉन देश यानी प्लेस, काल मीन्स टाइम, वस्तु यानी थिंग, व्यक्ति यानी पर्सन, एंड परिस्थिति यानी सिचुएशन. So our happiness is dependent upon these 5 different things, we think. Okay. What really happens is whenever something we desire actually happens, then we feel happy. And our conclusion is when we fulfill a desire, then we become happy. That is the conclusion. That is an erroneous conclusion. We contemplated on that. Okay. What actually happens is the desire for that particular desha kala vastu vyakti paristhiti disappears from our mind temporarily when the desire gets fulfilled. That is what happens. So happiness, joy, bliss happens when desire is transcended or when there is no desire in the mind. Okay. Whenever there is a desire, there is an agitation in the mind कि मुझे ये चीज चाहिए, मुझे ये व्यक्ति चाहिए, मुझे ये देश चाहिए, मुझे ये काल चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं होता. Happiness is not in the fulfillment of desire. Happiness is when there is no desire. That is when happiness manifests, because happiness or joy is our own essential nature. छोटा जो बच्चा होता है ना हमारे घर में, वो बिना किसी कारण के हमेशा मौज में होता है. A little child will always be in joy regardless of the situation. Sometimes the child may become agitated कि मुझे कुछ चाहिए, ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए, लेकिन after some time whether he gets it or not, he'll still be joyful. या फिर एक ही कोई चीज उसको दे दो तो उसको लेकर के वो बैठा रहेगा और दिन भर खेलेगा. हमें दिन भर में कितनी वस्तुएं चाहिए? As we grow older, the number of toys we need is much greater, and the kinds of toys we need is also different. तो बचपन में हमें जो वस्तु अच्छी लगती थी वो वस्तु अभी हमको अच्छी नहीं लगती ऐसा नहीं है, लेकिन उस वस्तु के प्रति हमारे मन में कोई आसक्ति या आकर्षण नहीं है अभी. So when I'm a child, the tricycle is everything for me. It's a great source of joy. But once I learn how to ride the bicycle, then the tricycle remains in the attic or the garage. फिर उस पर मेरी किसी भी प्रकार की कोई आसक्ति नहीं होती है और उसके प्रति मेरे मन में कोई आकर्षण नहीं होता है. After the bicycle, then I graduate further. Then I get a little scooter, two-wheeler, automatic. So once I have that, then the bicycle goes in the garage or in the attic, and I'm no longer interested in that. तो जगत की वस्तुओं के बारे में हमें नित्य आकर्षण बना नहीं रह सकते. We cannot be continuously attracted towards the things of the world at all times. ऐसा नहीं होता है. Because anything in the world is limited. सारी वस्तुओं की कोई सीमा होती है और सीमित वस्तु से असीमित आनंद की प्राप्ति होना असंभव है. We cannot be infinitely happy by things that are inherently limited. things that are inherently finite. सीमित वस्तु से असीमित आनंद की प्राप्ति नहीं हो सकती. तो भगवान क्या कहते हैं कि अगर हमें संपूर्णतः असीमित रूप से सुखी रहना है तो क्या करना होगा? हमारे मन से कामनाएं पूरी तरह से चली जानी चाहिए. तो भगवान कहते हैं कि जिसने अपने मन से कामनाओं को पूरी तरह से निकाल दिया है वह अपने ही आत्मस्वरूप में पूर्णतः तुष्ट रहेगा. Whoever has completely got rid of all of the desires, even from his own mind. मन से भी सारी कामनाओं को मैंने निकाल दिया है, तब जाकर के मैं अपने आत्मस्वरूप में स्थित हो जाऊंगा और मेरा जो मन है वो शांत हो जाएगा. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O Partha, when a man gives up all varieties of desire for sense gratification, which arise from mental concoction, and when his mind, thus purified, finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. ये था 55वां श्लोक. This was the 55th verse. ये हमने देखा ना लास्ट टाइम. अभी इसके आगे का जो श्लोक है उसमें भगवान क्या कहते हैं? दुखेषु अनुद्विग्न मनः सुखेषु विगत स्पृहः वीतराग भय क्रोधः स्थितधीर मुनिरुच्यते. So even if we look at the meaning of each single word in the verse, it will tell us what the verse actually means. We will take each of these verses word by word and we'll try to understand the meaning of each of the words so that we will understand the entire verse in its entirety and comprehensively. Then we can try to figure out how we can implement that in our lives and make sure that we are never unhappy and make sure that we are always in joy. ठीक है ना? Dukheshu means in the threefold miseries. Okay. See, the letter Kha means the sky, space. Okay. Du, the prefix du means bad or undesirable. So Dukha means a bad space. What is the bad space? It's the bad mental space. If I am in an undesirable mental space, then I will be considered to be in dukkha. ठीक है? Dukheshu anudvigna mana. Anudvigna means without any agitation. Udveg means agitation. Udveg means ut means upper, and veg means gati or velocity. So if I'm going to be agitated, if I'm going to be running away from myself, the reverse of that is called anudvigna. Anudvigna means without being agitated in the mind. So in the threefold miseries, without being agitated in the mind, and sukheshu. Sukha means, su means good. Okay, and kha means space again. So sukha is a good mental space. Sukheshu, so in happiness, vigata spruha. Vigata means gone beyond or without being interested. Okay. Spruha means the desire in my mind for a happy situation to get repeated. मेरे जीवन में कोई अगर वस्तु मुझे प्राप्त होती है या कोई व्यक्ति प्राप्त होती है या कोई काल प्राप्त होता है या कोई देश प्राप्त होता है या कोई परिस्थिति प्राप्त होती है, वो अगर सुखदायक है तो उसी प्रकार का सुख का अनुभव, उसी प्रकार के सुख का अनुभव मुझे हमेशा आता रहे. So I should keep getting the same kind of experience all the time. That desire is called spruha. Okay. Vita raga. Vita means free from. Raga means attachment or craving. See, in Sanskrit, the word raga means craving or attachment. And in Marathi, the word raga means anger. Okay. So here we are of course reading Sanskrit. Vita, which is free from, raga means attachment, bhaya means fear. Bhaya means fear in Sanskrit, Hindi as well as Marathi. Okay, and krodha means anger in Sanskrit, Hindi, Marathi, all three. Okay, so vita, which is free from attachment, fear, and anger. Okay, sthitadhihi muniruchyate. Sthitadhihi means, sthita means steady, dhi means buddhi. Whoever is steady in his wisdom. Muni means stage. Muni also means somebody who is quiet. Okay, Muni, the word Muni is similar to the word mauna. You know, we say mauna means silence. So Muni means who is observing silence. Okay, Uchyate means it's called. All right, so we've seen the actual meanings of each of these words. Okay, so let's see how this whole sentence now is constructed. So one who is not disturbed in mind, even amidst the threefold miseries, or elated when there is happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger, such a person is called a sage of steady mind. ये इस श्लोक का लिटरल मीनिंग है. ठीक है, दुखेषु अनुद्विग्न मनः सुखेषु विगत स्पृहः वीतराग भय क्रोधः स्थितधीर मुनिरुच्यते. अब देखिए, this verse is connected with the verse we have seen earlier in the chapter. You know, we haven't really gone over the entire chapter, पर इस अध्याय में एक श्लोक इससे पहले आ चुका है. उसमें भगवान क्या कहते हैं कि मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय. इसके बारे में हमने किसी पिछले कार्यक्रम में चिंतन किया था. मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखदा आगमापायिनो नित्यास्तांस्तितिक्षस्व भारत. इसका अर्थ यह है कि जीवन में हमारे जो अनुभव आते हैं वो आते हैं जाते हैं, आते हैं जाते हैं. ठीक है, और कुछ अनुभव जो होते हैं वो सुखदायी होते हैं. सम एक्सपीरियंसेस आर प्लेजरेबल एंड सम एक्सपीरियंसेस आर नॉट प्लेजरेबल. ठीक है ना, पर ये दोनों आते हैं जाते हैं, आते हैं जाते हैं. आगमा मीन्स आने वाले, अपायिना जाने वाले, अनित्या. सो दीज आर अनित्य मीन्स दे लास्ट ओनली फॉर ए शॉर्ट टाइम. हमने ये एक एक्सप्रेशन शायद सुना होगा, अंग्रेजी में कहते हैं कि इवन दिस शैल पास, इवन दिस शैल पास. एक बार क्या हुआ कि एक किसी राज्य में एक राजा राज्य करता था, और उस राज्य में कोई एक साधु संत आया और महाराजा से मिलने गया. तो पूछा कि महाराज कैसे चल रहे हैं. तो राजा ने कहा, साधु महाराज क्या बताऊं आपको मेरी दुख भरी कहानी. मेरे पास राज्य तो है, अच्छा राज्य है, लेकिन मेरा जो राजकुमार है वो अच्छा नहीं निकला. I don't want to use improper words, but he is a vagabond. You know, he is not really interested in fulfilling the duties of his position. He is the prince, so he will become the king after I pass away. But he is not serious enough. He is not mature enough. He is whiling away his time. Prince है वो तो राजकुमार है. He has an attitude. मैं तो prince हूँ. So he is running after girls. He is eating all kinds of things, drinking and all that. So he is completely wasting his life, not very happy with it. And because of this situation, the neighboring country is wanting to attack me. So this is what is happening. So the Sadhu Maharaj said, O king, this shall pass. ये चला जाएगा. तो ये कह करके साधु महाराज चले जाते हैं. फिर कई दिनों के बाद साधु महाराज फिर से उसी राज्य में आते हैं और फिर से राजा से मिलने जाते हैं. कहते हैं कि राजा कैसे चल रहा है अभी. तो राजा कहता है कि महाराज हम जब पिछली बार मिले थे तब से तो अब तक परिवर्तन आ चुका है। ये राजकुमार जो है वो सुधर गया। ही इज नाउ undertaking all the responsibilities commensurate with his position, and I am thinking of handing over the kingdom to him. He is ready for it, and we have defeated the neighboring country, and everything is great. तो साधु महाराज ने कहा, ओ महाराजा, even this shall pass. तो इसमें भी हमने फंसना नहीं है। दुख का जो समय होता है, दुख का जो प्रसंग होता है, वो चला जाता है। सुख का जो प्रसंग होता है वो भी चला जाता है। अगर हम इस भ्रांति में रहेंगे, if we remain in the misunderstanding or in the mistaken notion that our happiness, our joy is because of certain things in the world, then that joy, that dependent happiness will go away. In the same manner, the dependent unhappiness, the dependent misery will also go away. दुख के प्रसंग भी आकर के चले जाएंगे और सुख के प्रसंग भी आकर चले जाएंगे। यही है जगत की रीत। The world has always been like this. The world keeps changing. The only thing constant in this world is change, isn't it? सारा का सारा बदल रहा है प्रति क्षण। अगर मैं इस क्षण को पकड़ने का प्रयत्न करता हूं तो उसको पकड़ में आते आते वह क्षण भूतकाल में चला जाता है। आने वाला पल जाने वाला है। हो सके तो इसमें जिंदगी बिता दो, पल जो ये जाने वाला है। ऐसा एक गाना था, गुलजार ने लिखा हुआ, गोलमाल सिनेमा में था। इसका अर्थ जो है, इट्स वेरी डीप, that I understand now much better. If we can catch the moment, if we can live in the moment, if we understand that this moment is the only moment we have available for us to live, तो फिर क्या होगा? हम ना भूतकाल की चिंता करेंगे, न भविष्य काल की चिंता करेंगे, क्योंकि भूतकाल अभी है नहीं, चला गया। भविष्य काल अभी तक आया नहीं। भविष्य में क्या होने वाला है, क्या हम जान सकते हैं? क्या हम बता सकते हैं? Can we claim, can we predict confidently what is going to happen in the future? Is my body going to remain in the future? Am I going to be breathing in the future? Am I breathing because of me or in spite of me? मेरी जो सांस चल रही है, ये मेरे कारण चल रही है या प्रकृति में जो हो रहा है उसके कारण चल रही है? सांस में अगर रोकने का प्रयत्न करता हूं, आप सब लोग ये प्रयोग करके देख सकते हो। पकड़ के देखो, कितनी देर तक आप रोक सकते हो अपनी सांस को? नहीं होगा। Your body will rebel. Your body will say, the life within your body will say, to hell with you. I want to breathe. You may not want to breathe, but I want to breathe. इस प्रकार से इस प्रकृति में, इस जगत में जो कुछ भी हो रहा है, उस पर मैं ऐसा मानता हूं कि मेरा नियंत्रण है, लेकिन नियंत्रण होता नहीं है। जगत में होने वाली सारी प्रक्रियाएं जगत के नियमों के अनुसार होती रहती है। So everything in nature happens according to natural law. There are various natural laws. There are physical laws, chemical laws, thermodynamics, laws of thermodynamics, laws of biochemistry, biochemical laws are there. All kinds of laws are there. और ये जगत इन सारे नियमों के आधार पर चलते रहता है। हमको केवल इन नियमों को समझना है और उन नियमों के आधार पर हमारा जीवन चलाना है। अगर हम इस प्रकार से हमारा जीवन चलाएंगे तो हमारे मन से दुख निवृत्ति हो सकती है। पिछली बार मुझे किसी ने पूछा था, somebody asked me कि how this whole understanding is connected with diet purification. How do you say that you should eat only when you are hungry, and how is all this connected? देखिए, when we eat only when we are hungry, then we are actually living according to natural law. In nature, have you seen any organism, any animal, any bird, any fish eating more than necessary? ऐसा नहीं होता है. Every animal consumes only what the animal actually needs according to its own nature. And some animals may eat a lot before the winter, for example, because they want to hibernate during the winter and they will emerge during the spring, especially in this country. So during that time, they may eat enough and then they will slow their metabolism down to the extent that for 3 months, 4 months, they will be asleep. During that time, they don't really require too much energy. So for that, they may store some energy in terms of eating a lot of food during that time. And then they will hibernate. Then their life starts again in the spring. So no animal will consume more than necessary. ये principle है nature का. If we can not live even according to this principle, अगर हम इस एक नियम का पालन नहीं कर पाएंगे तो हम प्राणी भी कहलाने के लायक नहीं है. We are not even proper animals yet. Whenever you sit down to eat, and if you eat more than necessary, you should tell yourself that you haven't even graduated to the level of an animal yet. ठीक है. उसके बाद मैं ये सोचूंगा कि मनुष्य ने क्या है. What is being human? Being human means understanding who we are. बाकी किसी प्राणी को वो कौन है इसके बारे में जो हमारा अवेयरनेस है ना, वैसा अवेयरनेस नहीं होता. Every other animal will act according to its nature. So a cow will go and eat grass. A cow is not going to go and kill another animal to eat. Right? Whereas a lion or a tiger is going to go kill another animal and not going to eat grass, unless of course the tiger or the lion has constipation. And to relieve the constipation, the lion or tiger will eat grass to get some fiber so that all the fecal matter will be thrown out. So each animal in nature understands how to live according to their nature. Animals don't get sick, by the way. Animals don't get sick. Sickness is a curse. If you get sick in nature, that means death penalty. In fact, according to natural scheme of things, lions, tigers, all these carnivorous animals are actually supposed to, and not supposed to, but naturally they will eat or they will kill only those specimens in the another animal type that are weak. तो जैसे अगर एक शेर या एक सिंह, if a tiger or a lion goes and chases a whole bunch of sheep or deer or whatever, what will happen? The least efficient amongst those sheep or deer would get caught and would get killed, correct? So what is happening? Nature is trying to eliminate inefficiency and promote efficiency. ऐसा होता है. So natural principle क्या है कि efficiency will be promoted, inefficiency will be eliminated. So how do we live efficiently? How do we as human beings live efficiently? We can do everything that the animals can do, and we can do it consciously. ये होता है. प्राणी सारा का सारा व्यवहार जो होता है ना उनके जीवन का, वो प्री प्रोग्राम्ड जैसे होता है. Animals will live in a pre-programmed manner. Okay. As I said, the cow will not eat an animal and the lion or tiger will not eat grass. That is how they are pre-programmed. That is how that particular species will behave in nature. In our case, we have a choice. we can do whatever we want to do consciously. We can do it deliberately. If we deliberately do the wrong thing, then we will of course be discarded, eliminated, finished by nature. But if we do whatever we do consciously, but in the correct manner, so if we do the right thing, then nature will promote us. That is the law of nature. ये हम अगर समझ जाएंगे और इस समझदारी से हमारा जीवन चलाएंगे. So if we understand the laws of nature and live our life according to the laws of nature, then nature promotes us. That is how nature works. If we understand this, if we live our life in this manner, then we will have a phenomenally joyful experience of life. That's what will happen. इस प्रकार का अनुभव मुझे और मेरे साथ मेरी जो दो बहनें काम करती हैं, श्वेता और पूजा, और हम तीनों की एक योगा गुरु है, उनका नाम है योगाचार्य रश्मि जोशी. So these three wonderful ladies work with me, or I work with them, I should say. All right, because they are the ones who actually do all the work. So Yogacharya Rashmi Joshi runs our yoga program, which is next to no other program in the world. You know, we think it's the world's best. It's world class. Okay. Shweta, our chief nutritionist, she understands how everybody's body works, what kind of food is suitable for them, what kind of food they should be eating, what kind of food they should be avoiding. So all of that guidance Shweta gives. Pooja, my sister, is the one who actually runs this whole show in the background. She's never out in the open, or she's rarely out in the open. And I'm the one who tells all kinds of stories. I'm the one who shares the experience we've had from within in the best manner possible. How I feel from within, मुझे अंदर से कैसा लगता है, इसको शब्दों में पकड़ पाना कठिन है. It's really difficult for me to explain to you the kind of well-being and bliss I experience from within. नहीं बता सकता. Unless you experience it yourself from within, you will never really truly understand. देखिए, मैंने अगर एक पूरे पेज का एक निबंध लिखा, if I write a whole essay on mango, आम. So the mango is initially green, you know, it will become ripe, and then it will become either yellow or orange, and then it will become juicy, it will become very flavorful, it will smell very good, and then when you eat it, it tastes very sweet. I've written this entire essay and I've emailed it to you or sent it to you by WhatsApp. What will happen? You will have understood the theory, but will you understand the kind of experience you get when you taste that mango? No. How can I describe how the mango tastes? That experience is beyond words. That experience you have to have yourself. वो अनुभव आपको स्वयं लेना होगा, तभी आपको पता चलेगा कि अरे हाँ, ये ऐसा है. Right? So the kind of experience of well-being and joy I have from my own state of being, or being steady in my own self, how can I explain that to you? इसका अनुभव आपको करना पड़ेगा. If we do not get perturbed by unhappy situations, we bear with them. Okay, उसको सहन करना है. तांस्तितिक्षस्व भारत. मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय, हमारे जीवन में जो अनुभव आएंगे उससे हमें सुख की प्राप्ति होगी या दुख की प्राप्ति होगी. शीतोष्ण सुख दुखता, आगमा पाइनो नित्यास, ये आते हैं जाते हैं अनित्य हैं. तांस्तितिक्षस्व भारत, इसको सहन करो, इसमें फंसो मत. ये जैसा आएगा वैसे ही जाएगा. ठीक है ना. तो दुखेषु अनुद्विग्न मना, सुखेषु विगत स्पृहा, वीतराग भय क्रोधा, स्थित धीर मुनि उच्यते. इस प्रकार से अगर हम दुख के प्रसंग में उद्विग्न ना होंगे और सुख के प्रसंग के कारण हमारे मन में उसके प्रति स्पृहा उत्पन्न नहीं होगी, तो हम राग भय और क्रोध इनके आगे चले जाएंगे। ऐसा जो आदमी है उसको कहते हैं स्थित प्रज्ञा। So this is the second characteristic Bhagavan is telling us. We've contemplated on the first verse so far. This is the second verse in that whole description. So there are total 18 verses. Out of those 18 verses, each verse is so deep and so meaningful that to try to understand all of those verses, it will take us several weeks or several hours of contemplation. That's why we are going rather slowly. Ultimately, at the end of it, we'll realize that this is the ultimate experience of being human. If we understand this is how we as human beings ought to live, this is the kind of experience a human being is capable of having, then will we desire anything lower than that? We cannot. जैसे मैं जब बाइसिकल में चलने लगा, बाइसिकल पर चलने लगा, तो मैं जो ट्राइसिकल थी मेरी उसको भूल गया. देन आई स्टार्टेड राइडिंग द स्कूटर, फिर मैं साइकिल को भूल गया. फिर उसके बाद मैं गाड़ी में चलने लगा तो मैं स्कूटर को भूल गया. अब मैं हवाई जहाज में जाता हूँ. I go in the aeroplane. So then I forget the car. If I can fly, why should I drive? So when I am used to a higher level of experience, the desire for the lower level of experience will simply drop away. It's that simple, isn't it? So if I understand that being human can be so fantastic and phenomenal, will I get interested in something trivial anymore? Impossible. ये सारा वर्णन हमें भगवान करके समझा रहे हैं. इसके बाद का श्लोक क्या है? यस्सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहस्तस्तत्तत्प्राप्य शुभाशुभं नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता. दैट इज द श्लोक. अभी देखो, ये संस्कृत मुझे याद है इसलिए मैंने कहा. इसका जो एक्चुअल अर्थ है ना, ये मुझे समझ में नहीं आता है, क्योंकि आई एम नॉट रियली ए स्कॉलर ऑफ संस्कृत. तो हम इस श्लोक के हर एक शब्द का अर्थ समझने का प्रयत्न करते हैं. यह सर्वत्रान अभिस्नेहस्तत्, ठीक है. यह मीन्स द वन हु. सर्वत्र, देखिए ये जो शब्द है, द वे इट इज रिटन हियर, यह के बाद दो टिम्ब, राइट. यह यानी क्या करें उसको, आई डोंट रिमेम्बर द एग्जैक्ट नेम ऑफ इट. सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहस्तत्, तो इसका हम सर्वत्र अनभिस्नेहस या सर्वत्रान अभिस्नेहस, ऐसा दो प्रकार से देख सकते हैं. सर्वत्र अनभिस्नेहस मीन्स, सर्वत्र मीन्स एवरीवेयर, अनभिस्नेह मीन्स विदाउट अफेक्शन. सो एवरीवेयर ही कैन बी विदाउट अफेक्शन, और सर्वत्रान अभिस्नेहस्तत्, सब जगह पे अभिस्नेह. So either you are unattached to anything or you are attached to everything. Either way, you can understand this verse. Yes, sarvatran abhisnehastat tat tat prapya shubhashubham. Tat means that. That prapya means achieving, shubha means good, and ashubha means evil. Shubhashubham. Then the next line it says, nabhinandati na dveshti. Na abhinandati. So never praises. Abhinandan means to praise. Na means no, never. Na abhinandati, na dveshti, never envies. Dveshti means किसी का द्वेष करना. Tasya prajña pratishtita. His prajña means perfect knowledge has been established. तो इसका अर्थ ये हुआ कि in the material world, the one who is unaffected by whatever good or evil he may obtain, neither praising it nor despising it, is firmly fixed in perfect knowledge. That is how this whole verse has been translated in English. All right. तो मैंने जैसे कहा कि the one who is unaffected by whatever good or evil, neither praising nor despising it. As I said, सबको हम अपना माने या किसी को भी हम अपना ना माने, either way we will be equanimous. This doesn't mean that we are going to discard our family. Okay. We will have a special affection towards our family, but just imagine the kind of affection or the kind of love we have towards our own family. If we have that kind of love towards the entire world, how wonderful will it be, isn't it? So we are neither overly attached to anything, nor are we despising anything. इस प्रकार से हम जब रहेंगे, तब हमारी जो बुद्धि है वो स्थिर हो जाएगी, या ऐसी बुद्धि का जो व्यक्ति है वो व्यक्ति हमेशा स्थिर रहेगा. नाभिनंदति न द्वेष्टि. मुझे किसी के बारे में किसी भी प्रकार का द्वेष नहीं है. मुझे किसी के बारे में किसी भी प्रकार की विशेष आसक्ति नहीं है. इस प्रकार से मैं जब रहना शुरू करूंगा, तब मेरा मन जो है वो हमेशा शांत रहेगा. अगर मैं किसी व्यक्ति में आसक्त होता हूं और उस व्यक्ति से मुझे अपमान मिलता है, if I get overly attached to somebody and if that person insults me in some manner, how will I feel? I'll feel very bad, isn't it? तो संस्कृत में एक सुभाषित है कि अति परिचयात अवज्ञा. So if you get too close to somebody, if you become so well known to one another, then there is always a possibility of being taken for granted and being insulted. होता है. तो इस प्रकार से हम किसी में अत्यधिक आसक्त भी ना हो और किसी का द्वेष भी ना करें. There is no need for us to hate anybody. There is no need for us to get overly attracted to or overly attached to somebody. There should be no craving, there should be no attachment, and there should be no hatred either. क्योंकि जो आता है वो जाता है. आगमा पाइनो नित्यास. So we should neither get too involved with somebody. In fact, if we hate somebody, अगर हमारे मन में किसी के प्रति द्वेष है, तो वो व्यक्ति या वस्तु या परिस्थिति हमारे मन पर पक्का कब्जा कर लेती है. So if we hate somebody or if we hate something, then that actually grips and grasps our mind much tighter than if we love something. Think of your own experience. Isn't that true? इस व्यक्ति से मैं घृणा करता हूं या मैं द्वेष करता हूं, तो मैं इसको तो देख के रहूंगा. So that kind of emotion is much more powerful than the emotion of love. Hate is usually more powerful than love. तो हमको उससे बचना है. Because if we hate somebody, if we have a negative feeling towards somebody, then that negativity starts with me. See, if I want to burn somebody's house, what will I have to do? I will have to take a matchstick, right? So what will burn first? Will the house burn first or the matchstick will burn first? तो मैं अगर किसी के बारे में मेरे मन में द्वेष की भावना रखता हूं, तो मेरा मन पहले जलेगा. So the negativity in my mind towards somebody else will burn me first. Then it will burn the other person. ये समझना चाहिए. So नाभिनंदति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता. तो इस प्रकार से हमने आज इन 2 श्लोकों पर थोड़ा बहुत चिंतन किया है. इसके बारे में अगर आपको किसी को प्रश्न होंगे या आपके मन में कुछ विचार होंगे, तो आप अपने आप को अनम्यूट कर सकते हैं, लेकिन एक समय में केवल एक व्यक्ति करेगा अनम्यूट, और या फिर अपना हाथ आप ऊपर करें और हम इसके बारे में चिंतन करते हैं. सो लेट अस कॉन्टेम्पलेट टुगेदर. आई होप whatever we discussed so far made sense to you. समझ में आ रहा है ना? I hope whatever was contemplated upon is clear enough. So Pooja, you are here, great, wonderful.
Yeah, I'm here.
Fantastic. तो इस प्रकार का अनुभव जो है वो हर व्यक्ति को मिल सकता है, मिलना चाहिए. Swatitai, you had something to say? Why don't you go ahead and unmute yourself and say whatever has been discussed so far. Does that make sense to you? समझ में आ रहा है? Did you want to?
जी समझ में या बहुत अच्छा, मतलब छोटी छोटी बातें जिस पे अपन ने कभी गौर नहीं किया था वो सब यहाँ पे क्लियर हुआ. सो रियली आई रियली लव्ड इट.
Fantastic. तो इस प्रकार का चिंतन हमारा होता है every weekend. During the week, what we do is we make sure that we are disciplined about our diet. We are disciplined about our exercise pattern. We are disciplined about the things we do in everyday life. We try to live in a disciplined manner. We try to make sure that we are in sync with nature's laws. And we have a phenomenally joyful experience of life. Kishore ji, आप कुछ कहना चाह रहे थे? I think you wanted to say something, but you'll have to unmute yourself. Only then you can say something. So if you wish to say something, that's fine. If you don't, anybody else, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead, Kishore ji.
Last 3 days I've been in the meeting, so I could not devote much time to this.
No problem.
Just as joined, and I'll go through your recordings properly. Right now, I don't have any question.
Sure, wonderful.
You are doing a
Anybody else
nice
has?
job.
Thank you so much.
Great job.
Thank you. Anybody else has any questions or comments?
I think we should mention that we'll do these sessions every Sunday now, right? This is not
We'll
going
try
to
to
be
do it every
alternate.
Sunday. We were doing it every other Sunday, but we'll try to do it every Sunday as far as possible, unless I'm traveling. But we'll try to do it every Sunday. That will be very nice. So then there will be some continuity, and then whatever we are contemplating, there will be, we won't forget. So for example, the last session we had on Sthitaprajña was 3 weeks ago, because last week I was traveling and I could not do the session live. But today onwards, we are thinking we may do the sessions every Sunday. Samir, I think you have unmuted yourself, so why don't you go ahead and ask your question, please? Go ahead.
Good evening, Dada. This is actually an observation that no matter how hard we try to be Sthitaprajña in Dvaita, if I'm correct, or in Advaita, the fact of the matter is that the world and the people around us.
Can you speak with your phone closer to you, because it's hard for us to hear?
Whether we are Sthitaprajña, whether we try to be Sthitaprajña in Dvaita or we try to be in Advaita, the fact of the matter is that I'm making an observation that the world around us and the people near and close to us, or the people around us, the society around us, continues to participate in karmic activities that create tension and what can I say, disturbance every now and then. So the very purpose of the process of trying to be in Sthitaprajña or trying to be in Advaita is defeated. Because,
correct. So let me contemplate on that. I think I have understood your question. So let me stop right there, and then I'll contemplate on this with you. All right. So you said that the people around us, the world around us keeps doing all kinds of things that create disturbance, that create, something opposite to peace in the world.
correct,
Exactly, right? So how do we remain Sthitaprajña, or how can one remain Sthitaprajña in this whole situation? See, what we were contemplating earlier, we were earlier thinking that our happiness is dependent upon, or we think that our happiness depends upon Desha Kala Vastu Vyakti Paristhiti. Okay. It's not like that. Our happiness, our joy actually depends upon not having the desire or the expectation to have a certain kind of desha kala vastu vyakti paristhiti. That doesn't mean that we become nishkriya, or that doesn't become that we become impotent in the world. Okay. In the world, we all try to do the kinds of things that are necessary for us to do. In fact, we should do whatever has been, what should I say, whatever has come to us naturally. Okay. So for example, I was born in a certain family, or I am born in a certain family. All right. So do I have the choice who my parents are going to be? My parents are who they are, right? Because I am born to those parents, it is my duty to serve my parents to the best of my ability, or at least be available to serve them to the best of my ability. All right. So whatever is needed to serve my parents or my family, that I should do. That is my first duty. Okay. Second duty is towards my society. So I'm a part of the society. So think of, even the shirt or the sweater I'm wearing. Did I create this? No. Somebody made this sweater somewhere, and then it was sold in the local shop. Before that, the threads in this sweater or in this shirt were made in some other factory. Those threads were made from either cotton or some kind of polyester, whatever. So somebody else made those, right? Even that cotton, did the farmer make the cotton? No. The farmer actually sowed the seed in the soil. Thereafter, when the time came, the seed sprouted, and then the cotton plant came out, and then the cotton was harvested, and that cotton was cleaned up, and then a thread was made out of that cotton, out of the cotton. Then from that thread, a yarn was made. From the yarn, somebody actually stitched the clothes. So how many people have actually helped before I could wear this shirt or sweater? Am I not going to be indebted to those? Should I not be grateful to those? I must be, I should be, I have to be grateful to those. So this is the debt I have from the society. So the first debt is from my parents, because they gave me my body. I would not have appeared in this body unless my parents gave me this body. And my body came out of my mother's womb, right? So this body, I'm indebted to my parents for. For this body, I'm indebted to my parents, number one. To maintain this body, I'm indebted to the society. And thirdly, I am indebted to nature. Because see, the farmer actually did not make the cotton. Cotton grew because of nature's laws. So if the farmer had done the field, he had sowed the seeds and all that. But if it did not rain, then what? Was the rain, or is the rain in the farmer's hands? No. So we are all sustained by nature also. So we are sustained at the physical level. We got the body from our parents. So we have that one debt. Secondly, we have the debt of the society. Thirdly, we have the debt of nature. And fourthly, we have the debt of all the masters who have done all kinds of spiritual work, sadhana, our gurus, who teach us, from whom we learn. So we are indebted to them also. How do we actually repay these debts? See, whatever our parents have done for us, we cannot really repay that. We cannot repay that. We have to pay it forward. So the way our parents were good parents for us, we try to be good parents for our children. That's the way to pay forward. Okay. Secondly, the debt I have for the society, or whatever the society does for me, what can I do? Can I go and really repay the debt of the farmer, or the person who works in the factory, or the person who has stitched these clothes, or the person who is in the shop? No. All I have done is, given them some money in exchange. Is that really to repay the debt? No. To make sure that the society runs smoothly, all the activities in society run smoothly, I have to make sure that I do my duty well enough. I do my duty as best as I can so that I can contribute to the society. So my doing my job well may not directly affect the farmer. See, the farmer has to do his job properly. I have to do my job properly. The politician has to do his job properly. The prime minister has to do his job properly. The taxi driver has to do his job properly. The teacher has to do his job properly. When each one of us does our own job properly, then the whole thing works smoothly. Imagine the society is like a big machine. And in that big machine, we are like small parts. Only when each part works in harmony and in sync with the overall machine will the overall machine work well. So the society is like a machine. When we work in this manner, then society works well. So that is the way I repay my debt to the society. Thirdly, my debt to nature. How do I repay my debt to nature? Number one, I do not create any imbalance in nature. The way to do that is to make sure that I take only as much as I really need from nature. That is how nature is designed anyway. Can I eat more than my capacity? No. So I should make sure that I live at the need level, at the physical level, at the natural level. I should live at the need level. Whether I believe it or not, whether somebody has taught me or not, whether I like it or not, whether I agree with it or not, I'm a natural being. I'm a part of nature. Okay. So to make sure that I repay my debt to nature, whatever I take from nature, I want to make sure that I return it. First of all, take as little as possible from nature and try to give back as much as possible. Don't create any waste unnecessarily. So that's how I should live according to the laws of nature or in harmony with nature. And fourthly, my debt towards the masters or the gurus. How will I repay that debt? Can I become smarter than my guru? No. Whatever I learn from my guru, whatever I learn from my gurus, many people, many masters, I understand it. I try to live according to the teachings and then share that knowledge, share that experience with those who are interested, not with any Tom, Dick and Harry. There is no need for me to go and try to teach anybody. There is no reason for me to go and try to share my experience with those who are not interested. No need. If somebody is truly interested in this, if somebody thinks that, wow, this person seems to be really happy. He seems to be in great spirits. I want to live like that. What is he doing? ये रामगढ़ वाली लड़कियां किस चक्की का पिसा आटा खाती हैं, ऐसा एक डायलॉग था ना शोले में. तो ये आदमी इतना अच्छा जो दिख रहा है, वो किस चक्की का पिसा आटा खाते हैं? तो हम ना आटा खाते हैं ना चक्की पीसते हैं. जो प्रकृति ने हमारे लिए अन्न बनाया है, जो तैयार है, the food that has been created for us by nature, ready for us to eat, we try to eat that as much as we can. That is how we maintain this body in the best possible manner. This has been proven in my experience for the last 4 years, 4+ years. The experience of well-being and equanimity has been indescribable. इसका वर्णन नहीं किया जा सकता. इस प्रकार का अनुभव हम सबको आए और इस प्रकार के अनुभव में हम हमेशा रहें, ऐसी प्रार्थना करके आज के रविवार के लिए मैं अपनी वाणी को विराम देता हूँ. अगले रविवार फिर मिलेंगे. नमस्कार.